In this video, I'll be looking at this Desloc K120 smart lock that the company sent me to check out. I'll start with a quick unboxing and then go through the setup and talk through the features and all that. So starting here with the unboxing, it looks like the first thing we have on top is a kind of guide here. So we have the user manual, some measurements for actually lining up the lock and all that. Then underneath here we have the other boxes. There's accessories, a lithium-ion battery, and then the deadbolt and mechanical keys. So look at the accessories first here. That looks like it's our different screws and everything. So we have all the plate screws, the mounting screws, the bracket and all that. So all those screws and hardware are included. And next we have the lithium-ion battery. This is going to be a 15,000 milliamp hour battery, which should give you over a year of battery life according to their website. So definitely very impressive if that lasts as long as it should. Most smart locks are a lot less than that, so having such a solid capacity battery in the smart lock is definitely really nice. So you can see what that looks like. It looks like it is USB-C rechargeable here. And yeah, definitely a pretty hefty battery, again at 15,000 milliamp hour. Next we have the deadbolts as well as the mechanical keys. So there are a few ways to unlock this. One of them of course is going to be with the mechanical key here. A lot of smart locks don't even have a physical key option, so it's nice that this one does as a backup. And other than the key here, we have the plastic part that goes inside the door. We have the actual deadbolt, and then we have the plate as well. The good thing underneath here should be the actual lock itself. So this is a two-piece lock. Of course, one side goes on the inside and the other part goes on the outside. So taking out the plastic here, that's what the exterior facing part will look like. This is where you put your finger, of course, and it will display a digital keypad. And then you can use the physical key here. The other cool thing about this is it actually has a built-in USB-C cable for emergencies. That's really unique as well. I've never seen that on a smart lock. So in the event that the smart lock dies and you don't have the physical key, you can actually just take out your phone or a portable charger or whatever, plug it into this USB-C here, and then charge it up for a few seconds, just enough to get you inside the door. Nice to have several different backup options. I think that's especially important on a smart lock, so you can do that via USB-C or of course just carry the physical key with you. For the rest of this part, we just have of course the pieces that go through the physical door. There's a cable for connecting to the other part. And then yeah, it looks pretty good overall. A nice kind of aluminum finish on the side here. It definitely looks very good, and it's nice that the buttons aren't displayed all the time. So it just kind of makes for a more uniform look. The other piece here is going to be the piece that goes inside your house. So this part here is of course what you can turn to physically lock it. So you can see that rotating here. And then we have the other parts that of course connect to the door as well. This is where the cable will go in from that other piece. And this piece here is where it will all connect together. So we have this kind of plate here, and then the rest of the lock here as well. This part here is also where the battery goes. So you can access that just by sliding this part up here. So you can put the battery in like that. And again, nice that you can take out the battery and actually charge it via USB-C here, or you can of course charge it through this USB-C cable on the other piece as well. I'm assuming it'll be easier to just take out the battery and charge it, but it is nice to have both options. The only other thing on this part here is we do have a reset button. So in case something goes wrong and you need to reset it completely, you're able to easily do that with this button here. And of course, this is the part that goes inside your house, so you don't have to worry about anyone accessing it from the outside. So actually setting up and installing the lock was pretty simple. First, of course, just remove your old deadbolt and then install the new one. And then you put the outdoor part in and then kind of attach the cable and such, and then connect the indoor part. The instructions do a really good job of actually explaining everything, and there are some nice adhesives on both sides that kind of hold the pieces in place before you actually screw them in. So those little details make the process a whole lot easier, and of course all the hardware is included. I was even able to reuse some of my old hardware, which made it even easier, but it is nice that everything is included. Alright, so now that I have the lock installed, I'm going to go ahead and set up the mobile app here. So it is going to use this Desloc mobile app. We can just press the open button since we already have it installed. We can allow notifications. This of course is going to alert you when the door is unlocked and all that sort of thing if you want to set it up that way. So it looks like we're going to have to make an account here, so I'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so I created the account. Now we just need to pair the device. So I'll allow Bluetooth, add a device, and it will say how to do it. So it says to just keep it near the lock and then touch the keypad. So I'll just do that to enable it. Automatically it came up just by touching the keypad once, so you can click on that to pair. So now it's calibrating and doing all that. So really easy pairing mode, as you saw. Didn't have to connect to Wi-Fi or anything yet. So you can see that it just locked it. So now it is locked in theory. Now we can set a passcode if we want to, so we can do it on our phone, or of course do it on the lock here. So we'll just set a passcode now. Looks like it should be between 6 and 8 digits. I'm sure it can be shorter if you want to, but you should use a longer one just for your home security, of course. Alright, and then we can save and set a fingerprint as well. You can actually use any finger you want, of course, and the fingerprint sensor is supposed to be pretty good. So it should still work if your hand is wet or dirty, or if you're going to be having your grandparents or something like that with kind of more wrinkly hands. Should be able to read all those kind of fingerprints. Now we should put our finger on the fingerprint sensor.
Please place your finger.
You can see it's kind of filling in as I'm doing it. It says you should do it 6 times.
Please place your finger. This spot is already enrolled. Please adjust your finger position. Enrollment successful.
And just like that, we have our fingerprint added. So you can name that finger in case you want to delete it later. I'm going to do the right thumb because that's what it is. And you can actually store up to 50 fingerprints within this lock. So if you want to do your whole family and do all 10 fingers, you could, for example. Don't know why you want to do that, but it is able to store up to 50 fingerprints, which should be more than sufficient for most people. Now I'm just entering my Wi-Fi and location information. You do not need to have any kind of hub with this. It will just work on its own. So this device will connect directly to your router without having to purchase anything external. So right now I'm just connecting it to Wi-Fi. So that's really nice. I hate that when you have to actually buy a separate hub and stuff just to be able to connect it. This will just sort of serve as its own hub and connect directly. This Wi-Fi connection will essentially allow you to open the door remotely. So if you're going to be traveling traveling or something and you want to unlock your door for someone, you can do that from your phone, or you can of course connect it to Alexa as well and ask Alexa to open it that way. So now that I have everything connected, I just have it here in my app. I can go ahead and unlock it and lock it from here. So if I want to unlock it right now, I can just hold this button. We'll wait a second, and then you can see we'll start the unlocking process. So now it's unlocked. And of course I could do that remotely as well, so if I'm going to be at an office or if I'm going to be traveling in a different country even, I'll be able to operate this lock from anywhere in the world. It will auto lock after a few seconds, as you just saw. This is of course going to be in the settings, so if you want to adjust the time it takes to do that, you can do that, but it is nice to be able to access everything of course through this mobile app here. That's going to be one of the biggest advantages of having this connected to Wi-Fi, is you are able to of course access it remotely. And aside from the mobile app, I can really easily just scan my thumbprint to unlock it as well, so I'll hold my thumb here like this. It'll unlock easily as well. So that's of course going to be if you're physically in person in front of the door. The other option for unlocking, of course, is going to be entering our password. So we can just get that keypad to show up by tapping the thumb reader. So we enter our password, the check mark, it'll unlock that way as well. And the final unlock method here is just going to be via a physical key. This is going to be mostly in case the battery dies, I think. But you can just of course enter the key here, unlock it that way as well, just as you would with a normal lock. So easy to do that. Again, I think it's going to be mostly useful in case you want to like hide this key and have it in case the battery dies, or just carry this around with you as a backup. The nice thing is though, however, as I mentioned, it does have this USB-C cable on the bottom here. So in case the battery does die, you can just pull out this little cable here, take off this cap, and then connect it to your phone or a portable charger via USB-C, and it will give it some juice to be able to unlock it. So I think the key is really not even necessary because you do have this kind of fail-safe part built into the bottom of it. I think that's a super smart design, but it's nice to give you an option of a physical key in case you want to use it. So we do have 5 unlock methods. There's the keypad, thumbprint, physical key, mobile app, or using it via Alexa. So a ton of different ways to use it and interact with it, and I especially like that it has that USB-C cable built into the bottom of it. That's my biggest worry with the smart lock, is that battery is going to die and you're going to be locked out of your house. But A, you have a key in case that happens, and B, you can just charge it up via USB-C as well. So really nice. It was super easy to set up, and especially using the mobile app and all that is really easy. Works really well via the fingerprint, and the touchpad is super sensitive as well. I do like that the touchpad actually disappears when you're not using it. That kind of makes it a little bit more aesthetic and also just a bit more secure, I think. But overall, it's a really well designed and thought out lock that performs exactly as it should and has some even extra features that I wouldn't necessarily expect. For example, be having that USB-C cable on the bottom, even having a physical key, and supporting up to 50 unique fingerprints is super impressive. Before ending the video, I just want to show you a couple things in the mobile app that I think are pretty cool. So we do have a couple different modes here, and of course you can adjust the auto lock settings and all that, like I mentioned. But a couple things that I think are particularly interesting are the anti-beeping passcode. So you can click on this and kind of enter in around a number of digits before or after your actual passcode. And as long as your actual passcode is contained in that string of digits, it will still unlock. That's of course going to help with security in case someone is watching you into your password or potentially set up a camera or something like that. They won't be able to get your actual passcode because you added some random digits to it. The other cool thing that I think is particularly interesting is this anti-hijacking access. So you can actually set up a passcode, a fingerprint, and an emergency contact. So if someone is like at your door and kind of forcing you to unlock it, you can actually set up a specific passcode that if you enter that, it will alert all members of your family if someone is trying to kind of forcibly enter your home with you. The other cool thing is that with this anti-hijacking fingerprint, same thing. I can, for example, tie it to my left pinky finger. It'll be the same thing if I scan it with my left pinky finger rather than my right thumb like I registered. It will send an emergency notification to everyone that has it set up, as well as send it to my emergency contact as well. So that's a really cool feature, just a lot of extra security, which I think is super cool. Hopefully you're never in a situation where you need those things, but it is very nice to have those capabilities set up. Similar to a failed attempt protection, if someone enters the wrong passcode a certain number of times, you can make it so they're locked out of the house. So if I wanted to enable this, for example, I can turn it on, I can set it to 5 or more or less, and then if someone messes up the passcode that many times, they will not be able to open the door for 3 minutes. So that just gives you a little bit more peace of mind and security. Other than that, we also have the door ajar alerts, and you can of course customize your notifications on that. So if someone opens the door, it'll notify you, or if someone locks it, or if it automatically locks, all that you can choose. And you can of course assign fingerprints and such to names as well. So if you, for example, are entering and it'll say, John, unlock the door, or Susan, unlock the door, that sort of thing. So you do have a lot of control over the notifications as well as the personalization of it. I also think it's cool that you can actually kind of add temporary access. So if I wanted to make a one-time password, for example, I can do that. I can schedule it. So if I'm going to be on vacation and I have someone coming to water the plants, for example, I can make it so they can only enter between 7 and 8 p.m., that sort of thing. And I can of course make it so that access expires the day I return from vacation. And here at the top is where we assign the name. So even if we're doing a temporary password, we can still assign a name to it so we know who's entering and leaving. So yeah, especially when you add in the functionality of the mobile app, it's a really nice smart lock overall. Having all the different unlock methods and being able to store so many fingerprints and everything is really nice. But I think the functionality is really accelerated with this mobile app because you can really customize so much about it, from really specific security features to assigning temporary passcodes and all those sort of things. It's super easy to set those things up and everything works as you'd expect, so it's a really nice lock overall.